Okay, so imagine this. You step into a workshop, and it's filled with this amazing smell, right? Sawdust, wood glue, but also something else. Almost spiritual.
That's such a good way to put it. That's the world of Danny Kuhntop we're talking about today.
Exactly. We're doing a deep dive into his journey. He's this, well, master craftsman, handcrafting these absolutely stunning guitars, archtops, jazz guitars, hollow bodies.
Just incredible instruments. Some of the most sought-after ones out there, really.
Yeah. And our mission here is to kind of unpack his story, how this, childhood fascination, and then a really profound personal loss. And just this relentless commitment to his art, how all that shaped his career. It's all about craft, creation.
And there are some surprising insights, I think, into passion, purpose, legacy, all that stuff.
So let's dig in.
Yeah, let's do it. It's fascinating how his whole life just seems like pointed towards this one thing, often in ways he probably didn't even realize at the time.
You really see that thread running through it all.
You do.
And it starts really early, like when he was just a kid, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
He actually said the guitar felt like a source of security for him then.
Wow, security. Not just fun, but security. That's telling.
Right, like a comfort object he was just drawn to. And he has this specific memory.
Oh, yeah.
Of hearing Atmar Lebert's nylon string guitar on the radio in the back of his mom's Toyota Celica.
Huh. So specific.
And that sound just like lodged itself in his brain. He knew right then he had to learn to play.
That's amazing, that kind of early, almost primal connection. It's often the seed for everything else, isn't it? It sets a path.
Totally. And he also had these dual influences from his parents, which seems so important.
Right, his mom was a painter.
So the art and design side.
And his dad was an architect, so the engineering, the building side.
Exactly. And guitar making is like the perfect marriage of those two things, right?
Sure.
Art and engineering.
Absolutely. It was just baked into his upbringing.
He talks about summers in Michigan with his dad working on their cabin.
The hands-on stuff.
Yeah, watching his dad take a sketch literally on a napkin for a deck.
A napkin sketch. Love it.
Print it into a parts list, go buy the lumber, and then build it.
Yeah.
Just using like a handsaw and a hammer.
That's incredible, from idea to physical thing right there.
And that analog, hands-on learning, he said, taught him so much about problem solving, really understanding the process.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, in our, super digital age now. Are we losing some of that?
Yeah, that tactile understanding.
He mentioned feeling lucky he grew up before all the instant digital tutorials, when you had to figure things out with pencil, paper, tools.
Learn how to filter information yourself, maybe.
Exactly. It highlights how important real mentorship is, like he got from his parents.
So fast forward a bit, he's 14, and inspired by library books, gets his dad to help him turn a basement closet into a tiny workshop.
A closet workshop. Classic.
And he builds his first guitar, a semi-hollow body electric.
At 14, that's just... wow.
And then at 15, he takes it to a shop to get the electronics sorted out, and the guy working there is just blown away by the craftsmanship.
Oh, I bet. That must have felt amazing. Huge validation for a teenager.
Huge.
Yeah.
But then, the story takes a really sharp turn.
Yeah. This is the really tough part. His dad
Passed away. Suddenly. Tragically. Right after that guitar was finished.
Just awful timing. He described it as a clear line, didn't he? Life before and life after.
Definitely. And that first guitar became this physical link, this tying thread between his dad and everything that came next.
And it seems like instead of pushing him away from it, it pulled him deeper into guitar making.
Totally. It became his life's work, but also over time, he said it was a way to sort of keep spending time with his dad a little bit every day.
That's incredibly moving.
He feels his presence in the shop, asks him for help sometimes.
And things just work out.
Yeah, he says sometimes the solution just appears the next day. Almost like, well, help arrived.
Yeah.
And then later, much later, he found out his dad had actually told his mom he wanted to quit his job.
No way.
And build guitars with Danny.
Oh my gosh, imagine hearing that. That must have been so powerful, like confirmation.
Totally empowering. Like, okay, we're doing this together somehow.
It's just a powerful reminder, isn't it? How something so devastating like loss can forge an even deeper, almost sacred connection to your passion.
Yeah, it infuses the work with this whole other layer of meaning, purpose beyond just wood and strings.
Absolutely. And he said he wouldn't change his past, right? Because those experiences, even the dark ones, define the instruments, define him.
Right. So, okay, moving into his 20s, things weren't easy. He was studying classical guitar performance at SUNY Purchase. But dealing with depression, performance anxiety, he called it a very dark place sometimes.
That's rough, especially when music is supposed to be your escape or your passion.
But then he got this key piece of advice from his teacher, Fred Hand.
Ah, yes, the "it's not about you" lesson.
Exactly. Hand told him, basically, when you perform, you're just a channel for the music. You're presenting someone else's art for the audience.
So if you're prepared, what's there to be nervous about, really? It shifts the focus outwards.
Right. Takes the ego out of it, maybe?
I wonder how much that idea influenced his building later on, making the instrument about the client, the music it will create.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Less about his own stamp, maybe, and more about the connection.
Could be. So after that, he shifted gears, went to Columbia College Design School.
Which he said felt like a breath of fresh air.
And the department head there actually got his interest in guitars, supported it.
Yeah, let him focus projects on design studies, sketching, prototyping, machining, all that practical stuff.
All skills that would be crucial later. It's like the pieces were falling into place even if the path wasn't straight.
Definitely not straight.
Yeah.
Because the next step was kind of a detour, right, into the world of violins.
Yeah, seemingly out of left field. He ended up working for Michael Darden in Chicago.
A legendary violin maker.
Right, and Danny spent 6 years there, doing tons of setups, carving bridges.
And he even worked on a Stradivarius cello from 1693.
Can you imagine holding something that old, that valuable, the pressure, but also the learning?
Immense. Had to be.
And it's amazing how that experience, which seemed like it might take him away from guitar,
Actually fueled it.
totally, it intensified his guitar passion. And working on those old instruments, it wasn't about performance nerves for him. It was just about the task, respecting the object, trusting his mentor.
And he feels that whole violin and cello background actually makes his archtop guitars unique now.
Yeah, he called it a Chicago school influence, something that sets his work apart. He's so grateful he took that detour. It was all kind of guitar building research in disguise.
Okay, so he's deep in the violin world, and then the 2009 recession hits.
Right. And Darden's shop had layoffs, including Danny.
But instead of job hunting, he just pivoted instantly.
Took his unemployment checks and bought machinery for a basement workshop.
Just knew this was the moment. No hesitation.
He said it basically defined his future right then. The question of what to do next didn't even need asking. It was just go.
But then another disruption. 2011, he moves to LA with his wife.
And suddenly, no workshop for 2 years while he built a new one.
That forced time off.
Yeah.
He called it an incubation period.
Yeah, and it turned out to be incredibly important.
He used that time to basically rethink everything, redigest all his experiences, reconfigure his whole approach.
Redesign his instruments from scratch.
Yeah, to make them, as he put it, purely original, a much fuller expression of himself.
Getting away from maybe leaning too much on other people's designs he'd seen before.
He said the difference was night and day.
That takes guts, right? To basically throw out your old playbook and start fresh.
Totally. Makes you wonder if you need those forced pauses sometimes to make those big leaps.
Or maybe it's a discipline you can cultivate. But yeah, for him, that break was clearly transformational. It let him evolve.
So all this experience, this journey, how does it shape his philosophy now as a bespoke maker? He talks about the mysticism of it all.
Right. He really tries to connect deeply with his clients. He feels like their energy actually changes how he works on their specific guitar.
He hunts it out, he says. Tries to find that confidence that he can just nail the instrument for them.
Sometimes talking to them for days before even agreeing to build. It's not just about the specs on paper.
No, it's about understanding like what makes them smile. What sound do they feel?
It's deep. And he has this idea of 3 levels of making.
Yeah. The mechanic, the master, and the mystical.
Right. The mechanic just replicates the steps. The master can re-engineer, redesign based on experience.
But the mystical, that's when you get lost in it.
Exactly. A timeless flow, he called it, where that deep connection to the client just comes out in the work, maybe without even intending it.
That's where the real magic happens, baby. The subtleties that make it special, human.
Seems like it. He also has this fascinating idea about the instrument absorbing the player.
Oh yeah, the it's in the hands idea. Like with Bobby Broom's guitar.
Right. After a couple of years, he said, the guitar literally sounded like Bobby Broom playing it, notes and all.
Wild. But he also believes the builder's heart gets infused too, right?
Yeah, he calls it the juju. this special energy, this magic that's in there from the start and keeps growing and changing with the player.
So it's like this living dialogue between the builder, the instrument, and the player.
A perpetual dance. And that idea that the instrument has this juju and can evolve,
Yeah.
it ties into legacy, doesn't it?
Absolutely. When you're making something that could literally outlive you by centuries,
Passed down through generations.
that's a kind of immortality, isn't it?
It really is. And he said that feeling, that gratification, is what drives him to constantly ask, how can I do it better?
It's not just about making a guitar. It's about making this guitar the best it can possibly be. Pursuing legacy.
Which brings up the business side. Always tricky for artisans. Balancing the art and the need to make a living.
Yeah. And for him, he says the mystical art has to lead.
He'll spend that extra time, go the extra mile to really nail it for a client, even if it's not directly, compensated in dollars for that specific extra effort.
It's the opposite of scaling up, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about depth, not breadth.
Totally. He has about a 2-year backlog, naturally, and he feels that's kind of the sweet spot.
The right balance. He doesn't really market, does he? He trusts the work itself to attract the right people.
People who get it, who value that deep connection, and he finds real happiness in it, calls it his zen, his meditation, even with all the stress.
And he's okay with making mistakes, too. He said he's made every single mistake in the book.
Probably true for any master, right? He mentioned Bob Taylor's advice.
Just make one really bad guitar and then another.
Yeah. You learn way more from your own screw-ups than just following instructions perfectly.
That humility, that willingness to learn from failure, that's key.
It's part of that messy, sometimes frustrating, but ultimately joyful process of figuring things out. It keeps the work alive, always evolving.
And circling back, he still feels his dad there, right? Even in the LA workshop.
Yeah, every instrument is kind of you and him, he said.
And maybe the answer to that whole scale question, the legacy question, maybe it lies in the next generation.
His son, Kurt, named after his dad.
Yeah. He sees Kurt showing some of that same focus, that same drive to create.
And he hopes, dreams maybe, that Kurt might join him one day.
Fulfilling that multi-generational dream, that would be something.
Incredibly moving. Seeing that cycle continue, it just feels like it encapsulates his whole journey. This deep satisfaction, knowing he couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, that his work is his zen, his meditation. That really says it all about finding your place.
It does.
So thinking about all this, we've traced Danny Quintop's path, right?
Right.
Finding purpose through craft, blending art and engineering, dealing with loss, building a legacy.
Quite a story.
It makes you think about the power of just dedicating yourself to something. How these really personal acts of creation can ripple outwards, touch people you'll never meet, maybe for generations.
Yeah, that enduring impact.
And Danny has this definition of living a good life. He says it's about having both feet in this time and now.
Being present, patience and honesty in the moment.
Because, the past makes you who you are, but it's the present that defines you. And we're not promised tomorrow.
So true.
He says what matters is loving yourself, having self-confidence. And if you leave anything behind...
Leave nothing but happiness and inspiration for other people.
Wow. That's a pretty good goal to aim for.
Absolutely. A powerful thought to end on.